Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. If you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, as we can see, let me just check this is on. Yeah, as you can see, we are still just holding underneath the top side of this resistance for this pennant. So we're expecting a move. We're either going to break out the top, or we're just going to have to come down and test the bottom of the pennant and then obviously see if we hold it or not. But yeah, it just seems like Bitcoin's in a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. Just ticking over, waiting for some sort of direction. I'm guessing what that could be obviously the stock market indices futures opening later this evening. CME is opening. I think we're just basically waiting for that to make our move, to decide which way we're going to break. So obviously the bias has to clearly be to the upside. I mean, we are at the upside of the resistance for a start. I mean, that alone tells you that the bias is to the upside, and then clearly we're coming off the back of a move up anyway, and the trend is your friend. So yeah, statistically, I believe the probabilities to the upside are obviously in our favor. Once we get clear of this pennant, if it does go to the upside and this resistance zone here, we've got a pretty big range to play in. Not really too much in the way of anything to slow us down. If we kind of look, I mean, we've got some wick levels, but I mean, I don't know how necessarily important they're realistically going to be. They weren't levels where like lots of price action traded. They're just wick levels basically. So yeah, this whole zone is just going to be a bit wild, I would say. And yeah, it's basically about $2,000 range. So that's what we've got in store for us if we can break up. But we may want to come down. I mean, if you look in this on the daily scale, you can kind of see we popped up above. We could very easily come down and have this back test around, well, basically the mid 10,000s, and it'll still maintain the structure, look very good, and then reverse from there and push back up and onwards and upwards. That is it would be perfectly fine for price action. It may get a few over leveraged moon boys a bit shaky for a period of time, and in all fairness, there will always be a possibility that we don't get held there and we come down and test lower, in which case it would start to really test the metal of some of the Bitcoin bulls, and yeah, we may get more selling precipitating that move, but yeah, obviously that's not really what we necessarily need to look at until obviously we have to address that at the time, because like I said, probabilities are that we break up from here, but obviously that doesn't have to be the case. Let's have a look at see how the stochastics are looking. Let's go to the 4 hour. Just 1 second. Yeah, here we go. 4 hours there or thereabouts. Just in a holding pattern as well. You can see the stochastics. I bet if we look at the 8 hour and 12 hour, they're really just sort of floating in where they are. Just waiting for the next directional move. I mean, that's what's going to happen when you're in a tightening pennant formation. That's just how the oscillators are gonna basically look. So yeah, so realistically, we've got probably a big next couple of days when we get some decisive action. And yeah, I mean, let's keep our fingers crossed it's to the upside, and let's hope we keep having our altcoin party. You can see we are just, I mean, this is obviously a daily chart. We're still basically flirting with this horizontal, but I mean, again, probability statistics, we're flirting with the low. We're in a basically downwards trend. The probabilities are in our favor for this a breakdown, and some nice altcoin gains. Obviously, we do know historically when Bitcoin does make its moves upwards, the alts will get hit as money comes out of alts into Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, that could obviously quite easily form well, a bit of a retrace, especially if we do break to the upside. So that is something to watch. But then obviously whenever Bitcoin finds its level, settles down, that is when the the altcoin party resumes. So this was obviously when we were breaking out before. You can see we got the move back up. Alts moving into Bitcoin, and then obviously that's subsequently retraced, money put back into altcoins, with obviously a higher Bitcoin market cap. So this percentage obviously equals higher values for those coins, and those coins are obviously been pumping accordingly. So it's a nice stair-step sort of action we've got going on there, guys. But it's always kind of been the case with Bitcoin, with these altcoins, the rotation between them. So when you have a trend in how the market operates, it's definitely something that you should consider taking advantage of, because trading's hard, guys. Trading is hard, but certain times you get opportunities, markets to trade certain ways, and it can be slightly less hard, and you've got to capitalize on those less hard moments, because it's hard a lot of the rest of the time, or harder anyway. Not that it makes it easier, but you gotta stick with what works when it works. So that's it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys later today with the Binance update.